Ian, a bodybuilder from Pembrokeshire. How do you get into that?
It's a long story. Basically, being overweight, drinking too much alcohol back in the day. So, things have to change. So, fast forward 20 years, and here we are talking to you guys on this Monday night.
Fantastic. Now, you got in touch with us because you happen to know Matthew as well, and you sent over some of the pictures that we've shared to highlight you coming onto the show. Where were they taken? What were you competing in?
Yeah, I competed 2 weeks ago, last Saturday, in the UIBFF in Coventry on the world stage, the championship. So in a natural federation, this one was.
So there's different federations. So do you want to explain a little bit about how it's made up? Because a lot of people, they think bodybuilding, they're automatically, I assume, going to think of people like your Arnold Schwarzeneggers. How is it that one gets into it, and what are the different categories that you've got?
Well, basically, there's two categories in bodybuilding. There's the assisted side and the non-assisted side. You know, the one is you can take stuff and whatever you need to do, but I'm 100% natural. So it's just plainly clean diet of chicken and rice, broccoli, fish, oatmeal, protein powders, and just train hard and eat right and do your cardio and do what you got to do.
And how much training does an all week entail for you, Ian?
Yeah, basically, I'll train for 4 to 5 days a week, which each body part will be hit once a week, but legs will be twice. And then the cardio, then as the shows come up closer, the cardiovascular side will increase, and the cardio and the calories will come down, just to get the body fat off and the weight down.
I've always been interested in the competitive side of it, because obviously, essentially it's the training you need, but the actual judging when you're at a competition is how you appear aesthetically on a stage. Have I got that right?
That's right, yeah. And then, every judge has got their own, what they look at, like more some aesthetically pleasing, and the more heavy muscle guys to the more streamlined guy with a smaller waist and different body parts, But as a bodybuilder, it's very subjective sport, each one of you can look at me and look at another individual and think, okay, I'd rather his physique to X, Y, and Z. But it's on the day. They look for muscle size, definition, condition, vascularity, and the pose inside of it, how you hold your stage and how you hold your stage and stay, your tanning, your music, your posing, just as a not be up there standing, not that you can't catch your breath until you're sweating, it's just you would hold that pose like a statue pretty much, for however long it takes. Like, I've done a show previously, and I've competed and gone on stage at, say, 75 kilo, and then come off stage at 20 minutes later, I'm lost 4 kilo in a matter of 20 minutes.
Oh, really?
With the lighting, the sweating, and the holding yourself for the pose and everything.
So obviously you're no novice. You did say there, Ian, that you've been training for at least 20 years after you packed in the alcohol and going around.
20 years plus.
So obviously it's now to you a lifestyle, I would say. Is it more than a sport? Is it?
It's much more to a sport than me. It's my life, to be honest with you. That side and socializing. But yeah, it's pretty much, I know every meal what I'll be eating tomorrow, next Monday, and the following Monday, and the year after that. It's you are what you eat.
Do you train by yourself, or do you have a partner, or do you? What is your routine?
My best friend, he trains me, Ricky Schroeder. He's been with me since 2016. I've got very close friends that come along with us, and I'm trying to help them as well, just to reach their goals, whether it's to lose a bit of weight, get a little bit stronger, or whatever you do. It's just like to give back. But Ricky's been there from the start. So back in July 2020. I broke my ankle and severely broke it, and then one thing led to another. I had an operation on it, which didn't go to plan. So I had another operation, and then the doctor told me then pretty much it's not ideal for bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So anyway, which was a really major setback for me at the time after winning the British title and this, that, and that. And I thought, okay, well, it's either I get back to the drawing plan when I couldn't walk and everything, or I set myself a goal out. And I set myself a goal just to get back on stage, to lose a bit of weight. And then here we are talking to you guys as a world champion natural, and hoping to aspire to help other people and do what I got to do,
Brilliant.
What kind of, there's two in terms of meals as well, like Gordon mentioned there, a way of life. There's a lot of preparation and time and effort has to go into that.
Yeah, that, to be honest with you, that's where Sean is 99%.
That's where Sean comes into it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Behind
yeah.
every good man, there's a good woman. We do understand that, Ian.
I agree with you totally, but yeah, you are, I got to eat the meals and do my training, do my cardio, and
You did say you are what you eat, but you are what Sean gives you to eat.
What Sean gives me, yeah, but I can't take the gratitude alone. I've had a lot of help from him. I don't know whether you guys know Renzo Algieri. Do you know Renzo Algieri?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I know him well.
Very good friend of mine, and he's helped me along the way massively. I've got friends in America. My mate Frank in America, he's been tremendous for me. I got a coach who helps me, Andrew Chappelle from Pro Bodybuilding, and Steph, and loads of people to help me out. So it's not a solo sport by any means. But when I first started training, after I broke my ankle, my weight ballooned up to like 107 kilo, which is like 1610 stone or something, and I competed last 2 weeks ago, and I was 70 kilo, which was like 10 stone 10.
Yeah, sure.
That's incredible.
Back to that, Sean. On a serious note, do you feel pressure yourself? Because obviously, when you're preparing the meals, it's got to be pretty meticulous when Ian's competing at the level he is, obviously.
Yeah, I just get on with it and do it.
Yeah.
Do your meals have to be weighed and everything?
Yeah,
is it, especially when you get in your competition time? I would think it's more important.
Everything is weighed out. It's all prepared, it's all cooked, frozen, and then taken out when we need it. Just to so I know where we are. But the water is
scientific as well, really, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah. The last week leading up to a competition, it's awkward. You carb deplete with meals to take the food out of it, and then you carb load back up then to fill out and everything. But the water's different, and sodium intake and everything.
You recall that something you said earlier in the show there. I hadn't realised that there's actually two different competitions. When you assisted and unassisted, I assume you mean one will commit performance enhancing substances and the other doesn't.
That's right.
Is that fair to not the level you compete at then, the one where you are allowed assistance, or however you word it? Is that not very dangerous then in terms of the risks that people competing in that are taking?
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing with that type of stuff. I don't know a lot about it, but there's people who knows it, but it's not for me. Not that I condone it by any means. So if that's what they want to do, you see the likes of Arnold Schwarzenegger and all the top bodybuilders. They're not going to be 20 stone just walking around naturally like that. When I do the competitions, I get like polygraph tested. I've had polygraph tested. I've been the urine tested. Pretty much everything, which I'm all for. If you're natural, you're natural. You know what I mean? I don't agree with.
I was going to ask that, just forgetting the assisted category from in your category is people trying to slip under the radar and take form enhancing things.
Oh,
Is it an issue? Because obviously it's a sport where you the power and everything, it does lend itself to that temptation, I guess. I don't know personally, but I know people who have entered shows and won stuff and everything, and then later to find a polygraph test or a urine test, which if you want to take whatever, compete in a non-assisted show, assisted show rather, don't like, you know what I mean, to put somebody off a life, and I'm all for a random drug testing or whatever it takes, at the end of the day, that's only fair. But you are on that. But we've done pretty good this year. We've won a few shows. I got a couple of invites to go here and there. But it does mean a lot, And if I can help to inspire anybody, I'm not plugging myself by any means, but you know what I mean. Just to feel a little bit better than themselves and lose a little bit of weight or put a bit of weight on or whatever. That's. And where's your training base, mate?
I train at home.
Shouldn't we go?
Yeah, I got my own facility at the bottom of the garden, so I got everything there I need, and we bought everything, all secondhand stuff, and we've just painted it up and just got everything we need. We got dumbbells up to 75 kilo dumbbells, and I got everything I need, so I don't need to travel anywhere at all now, which is good. I can just go down there and do what I got to do and come back up and just rest up. But we really enjoy it. Yeah, thank you.
Because it could be quite an isolating sport to get into, but you've already mentioned there you've got this whole team around you, but then when you're on stage it is you up against these other people, and you mentioned it's very subjective. How do you overcome that thought of comparison, which a lot of people feel in everyday life when you're up there, and if the result doesn't go your way, how do you overcome that?
Well, it's a very selfish sport. You know, you've got to be very driven to get where you are. At the end of the day, when you go up on that stage and you haven't put the work in, I can't stand behind the curtain. So I've got to put the work in, and yeah, it's to be honest with you, like when I done the first couple of shows this year, I won a few, and then I didn't win some, and I thought I would have done better than what I did, and I thought, okay, I had two choices. Either I went back to drawing board, trained a little bit harder, done a little bit more, and come back, worked on my posing, worked on my everything, and then I come back and won what I needed to do. And you know, being a professional was a dream that I aspired to, and never thought I'd ever get it. But yeah, so it's a big thing, but it's a lot to it. It is, you know, you're standing up on stage with 8 to 12 guys, and you're all standing next just to put a little bit of pair of pants on and everything, and you got the fake tan from you know, from your toe to your head. It's quite. When we done the show, we done it, and then we left there then, and we was flying out the next morning. So I went into Bristol Airport, and I went and looked in the mirror in the toilet, and fucking got the stuff off there, and trying to rub it off my head, you know. Looking at you know.
You're not the same colour.
You're right, mate. You're more darker now than what you're going, but. Yeah, it's good. It's really, I've done like 40 odd shows now, you know, so it's very addictive, you know. It's obviously nerve-wracking, like the next thing, whatever you do, you know. But yeah, it's good, and I recommend it to anybody, you know, just to get into anything, just to, you know, all every journey, and you need to do what you got to do in it.
Absolutely.
And for those who may be interested, where's a good starting point, right? If they want to, first of all, look after their body, as you said, lose or gain weight, and then maybe if they want to take that one step further and get onto the stage, where's a good starting pathway for them to look at for their rules and what to expect?
The first thing I would say is obviously you look at social media and you all think that you're going to look like that overnight, which is not going to happen. Best thing to do is just look at a couple of local shows. There's not so many in Wales now at the moment, but we did have a couple this year. We had one in Swansea and one in Barry. But yeah, go to a show, do Aspire. You know, if anyone want to message me up just to have a little bit of a chat about it, that's fine. But yeah, you know, you're not going to go to a show and win everything straight off. It's going to take time. It's going to take presence on stage, how to hold yourself, how to hold the pose, and how to do your routine. Which you know, you got to go to a routine for like 90 seconds to 2 minutes, which might not sound a lot, but when you're on stage and you've got to go up there and hold the pose for the photographer, and the lighting's under you, and you've got 6 judges looking at you, and yeah, but yeah, I recommend anybody to get into it. I honestly do. You know, it's a good sport. You know, you compete naturally. It's a healthy sport. You're losing a little bit of weight. You gain yourself a bit of confidence as well if you need to do that thing. You know, but I met a lot of people around the world from it, and I've been fortunate. We've gone to Dallas to train. I've been to Las Vegas, quite a lot of places. With Barcelona, competed abroad in Barcelona. I got 2 in Italy coming up. And I did have an invite this year to go to America, which would have been yesterday, but we didn't bother this time. So, yeah, I recommend anybody.
It's a busy schedule, and to keep up whilst also trying to maintain that diet and the training regimen with it.
Yeah, I've finished the competition now 2 weeks ago, so I had to put a little bit of an off season then just to gain a little bit of weight. You can't hold this condition all year long; just make yourself ill, and just put a little bit of weight on before I start dieting now for the next show in July, which will be 20 weeks before, just to slowly pull it down.
So what you're saying, Ian, is you're going to enjoy your Christmas.
I will do, yeah. But, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
I was going to ask actually, when does that process start? You say it's a 20-week lead up to competition season.
Yeah, it all differs for a lot of people. This prep, because I got a little bit out of shape, it's taken me like 52 weeks plus just to slowly start digging at it. I always start a diet very slowly. I don't. If you start crash dieting and you're losing 8 pounds a week or 4 pounds a week, you're going to end up losing muscle tissue then, and you're just going to come in. It's not a dieting competition. It's a fullness competition on stage. You know, people get so fixated into diet and I've lost 12 pounds this week. You haven't actually. What you've lost is 10 pounds of water.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, and I don't go hungry. I've still eaten 3,500 calories a day. Even when I was dieting.
For training course.
Yeah, 6 meals a day. 6 meals a day. 6 meals a day, and sometimes depending on what if I was getting up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd have another meal then at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Just to make sure I got
take over.
Yeah, oh yeah. With the protein levels, it's got to be. I got to make sure I meet my macros for that day. You know, with proper protein levels and the water intake and the carbohydrates and the fats and everything. You know, but dieting hasn't got to be simple. You don't need to be just eating plain chicken and broccoli. Every meal was different. I was eating like 150 grams of oats in the morning with protein powder, peanut butter,
Fruit.
and a lot of fruit, bananas, pineapple for the digestive system. Your chicken, your broccoli, your steak, your red meat, turkey. Anything, pretty much
Nice.
anything, you know. But yeah, it's okay. It's good. It's really good.
Fantastic. And if people want to follow you on your journey, Ian, how can they find you on the different social media and finding out where you're competing and how you're getting on with things?
Yeah, pretty much on Instagram. I'm on Instagram or like on Facebook, but Instagram is the main one for me. If you want people to hook me up and follow up and just ask any general questions. So yeah, please to help anybody. You know, I'm no expert by any means. I got no nutritional diets advice qualifications. I got no qualifications in personal training, but I know how to build a body.
Yeah, well.
Jack March and Ryan are having a conversation in the comments here, and they're saying, well, when are we joining up Jack March? And Jack's waiting for the double bicep pose. Do you have a favourite pose, Ian, before we sign off?
Sean got a few.
I have it.
yeah. They know him very well. Yeah, they know.
There it is. Which way to the beach?
Yeah. No, but I appreciate your time tonight. Here's the trophy what we won. That's our trophy.
Excellent.
Oh, fantastic!
Well done.
Oh,
Pretty
brilliant.
much there.
Well, yeah.
And then there's we won all that as well this year. How you can see it
On the shelves there.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
we won all these as well. Like, and
Excellent.
yeah. No, but thank you for your time this evening, guys. I know you're busy.
Thank you. Yeah, keep us posted when you head back out on competition.
I will do. Yeah. If anybody
on.
wants just any can help at all, just let me know. I'm only too pleased to help.
Yeah. What's your Instagram handle?
Yeah, it's Ian Stevenson 1.
Ian Stevenson 1. There you go. Ian, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Evening.
Yeah. Thanks so much,
Yeah,
guys. Have a good evening.
care.
Thanks for your
No
time tonight.
problem.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome.
Cheers now.
Bye.
We're going to take a
Bye.
moment.
Bye-bye.
When we come back, we've got a few other bits and pieces. We've got Ryan waiting in the wings for us to talk about that away victory for How Progressed, and also revisiting the pre-season. How Progressed feel like they haven't even stopped, and because of that European adventure. Well, Ryan's got behind the scenes for you. It's 8:45 here on your Pure West Sports Show with Eaton-Evans and Morris Solicitors.
Thanks again, guys. Thanks for your time tonight.
Eaton-Evans and Morris Solicitors. The client